Yay, clay, you got it, right? So this is about 6-7 pounds of clay. Leave it in the bag, don't open it up, and keep the bag closed or it'll dry out. This is air dry clay, dries with the air. So you wanna keep it out of the air until you're done making your stuff with it. Please, 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 that's so important. All right, your kit. So you've got a little kit, and I know you didn't want to read this, but you need to. And by the way, this little paper clip is an extra free tool I just gave you, so hang on to that. The very first page is some safety tips and guidelines. You need to read it, share it with your parents, okay? This stuff is actually dangerous. It's harmful to your lungs, the dust, the dry dust that comes from clay. So as long as we're keeping it pretty wet, and not doing much once it is dry, it's fine, it's safe. But I want you to make sure that you're aware of the safety precautions. And this is a bunch of things you should really take into consideration, and I emphasize them in class, so don't forget them, especially things like don't put clay down your sinks, right? And stuff like that. Okay, that one's important. You can even give it to your parents and say, my teacher said you should read this. The second sheet, this is a good one on how to set up a at-home studio. So this just gives you some suggestions. You guys, working on your bed isn't gonna work very well for this. So you're gonna have to get your butt out of bed, get to somewhere where it's a hard surface, and I give you some tips and pointers on what to look for or kind of where to work. And hopefully you find a place, and if not, let me know and we'll see what we can do if you really don't have a great place to work. And then this is the kit. This is what you got. So it doesn't seem like much, but we're going to be making a bunch of homemade tools out of a lot of the stuff. There are some things for you to collect, one of which is like a little tiny takeout container would be great. If you can only find something large, that's fine. But the real small, tiny, like that salad dressing comes in is the best. So keep your eye out for one of those. Also, a used gift card is going to come in handy. And then some optional things. You might want some of the optional things that are listed there. So take a look. And if you have them, you might as well have them near you. We're just going to unpack the kit so you make sure you have everything in there that you need and you know what it is. So I'm going to go through the list as I do it. You should have one trash bag in there. And by the way, the first thing though, whoa, stop. The first thing I want you to take out is this really fine piece of fishing line. Don't lose this, okay? And it's easy to lose. So just take that out and set it somewhere safe, or leave it in the bag and make sure it doesn't sneak out. Okay, now let's get to the list. So the first thing is a trash bag. This is great. We're going to use this to keep our projects because we'll be working on them from class to class. We don't just make something and then stop and it's done, right? The next thing is a little piece of canvas. So some of them are bigger than others, but you should have gotten a piece of canvas. Clay is sticky, it's wet, and so sometimes it's nice to work on this as much as you can, or to at least have your project sitting on this rather than on your kitchen table or something else. So this is a great work surface. I also gave you ideas for other work surfaces in the optional list, okay? So you got the canvas in the bag and the fishing line. I'm going down the list and we already got that. The 4 popsicle sticks we're going to use to make some tools in a little while here, so in another video. So 4 popsicle sticks are going to be great for tools. You should have a skewer / paddle. This is your little skewer. This is going to be a really handy tool. We don't have to do anything to it. It's going to be our pin tool. And I got the ones with these cool paddles thinking they might be useful for something. I don't know. We'll see if you can use it carving into the clay, scooping into it or something like that. You should have 4 paper clips, and actually you should have 5 because there was a paper clip holding your instructions to the bag. So 5 paper clips actually, and those are going to be great for tools. And then you have a wooden pencil. I just included this because I'm not sure if everyone has these at home, and this is a great carving tool. I sharpened it for you. It's a perfect carving tool as is. And mechanical pencils don't do the same. The ballpoint pen can work, but these are really great. We're also going to use the eraser. You'll see later. And then you have 1 small sponge. This is like super magic. If you dip this into water, it's going to kind of blow up a little bit and actually be a real sponge. So make sure you get it wet before you use it. This is a tiny sponge, but that's all we'll need for the size stuff that we're going to be creating. And then bonus, you should have a little Q-tip. These are great for smoothing clay as well. And you might have some of these things at home. You might have paper clips at home. But I wanted to make sure we all had the same things so that when we go to make some tools, we're starting on the same page. So that's everything in the kit. Please do not lose these papers. This one, read it. This is really important stuff. And this will help you find a good place to work. And if you're missing any of these items, then it's important that you tell me so that I can get them to you if you can't get them on your own. Some of them are common enough, you might be able to get them on your own. I really want you guys to read this. This is air dry clay. I already said it, it dries in the air. So you have to be really careful that you're always leaving your bag of clay closed, tight, no air in it. And if you're making projects and in the middle, they have to be wrapped airtight. We'll talk about it, but please don't waste this clay. The way you waste it is you let it dry, and I'm not giving you any more. That's all you get. So please don't let anyone open this bag and leave it open. All right, we'll make some tools soon. I'm so glad you have clay and all this fun stuff. Might look like junk, but you know me, we're gonna make some really cool tools out of it, just like we make really cool art out of what some people think is junk.